Wow. This is the first time I've actually gone live on LinkedIn myself on my own whilst waiting for my co-host. So that's kind of interesting. But today we're going live on a few places at the same time, probably live on Kim Adele's channels as well. So she's not here. So that's going to be fun. No, in all seriousness, today I plan on talking about the MIT Open Courseware initiative. That's the first thing that I think you'll find interesting. I didn't have a chance to actually talk about this last week because they had their 20th anniversary of Open Courseware, which I thought was quite interesting. Nowadays, they actually have 2,500 free courses that you can do. And those actually make up part of the MOOCs, which is the modern Mooc movement. And they have like 180 million learners around the globe, which is just amazing. All free coursework, basically. So that's very, very interesting. I also want to talk about the International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day that we ran on Tuesday, and that was very, very interesting. It was a busy day. I think we almost hit 10 million 10 million impressions on Twitter for the day, which was amazing around the hashtag. So that was really, really good. Hoping that Kim Adele will perhaps drop in, but she's actually, believe it or not, she's in the hairdressers. So obviously, because of the UK has just literally opened up, and whilst I'm over here in Croatia, things have in my region locked down for 2 weeks. You guys are kind of opened up now. So Kim is getting her hair done. So that's an interesting one. But as far as these open courses are concerned, you can basically go and learn about MIT Open Courseware. You can go and have a look. As I was saying a minute ago, these courses actually make up they're kind of part of the Mooc movement, which is basically 180 million learners have gone through these courses. There are loads of online degrees that you can do, which are completely made up of these courses. And I find that absolutely fascinating. I actually remember doing like a data course into AI and machine learning and stuff like that. And it was so in depth, but it was so worthwhile. It really was worthwhile doing. So yeah, in terms of this week and International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day, it was a busy day. I was unfortunately late for the introductory video where we were introducing the day, and that is why Kim is probably playing a prank on me and being late for this video. But you know what? I can live with that. I'm streaming live to Kim Adele's channels, and that's quite cool that she trusts me to do that. Because I could say anything. I could do anything right now, and yeah, she'd be pretty upset. But you know, what can I say? It's nice to have someone trust you with their channels. So if you're watching this from Kim Adele's social media channels, I'm Nat, and I work with Kim on a daily basis, and that's kind of fun. But with the International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day that we launched this week, we had masses of comments. It was really, really interesting, and we did loads of live streams. We had Donna Sarkar from Microsoft. She has suffered from imposter syndrome for a long, long time, as Kim Adele has. And it's very interesting when you examine this phenomenon, this imposter syndrome phenomenon. It's basically where people actually think that they are frauds, and you know. They basically think that at some point, sorry, I've got to man all the comments myself today as well. So yeah, they basically, people actually think that they're frauds and that someone's going to find out that they're useless at whatever they're doing. And what's really interesting is until you actually find out that the evidence is actually the opposite, you can have a conversation with yourself, and you can turn around and say, well, actually, so say, for example, it was me, and the back of my brain was saying, oh, you're really bad at this, you're an idiot, you're a loser, and all this kind of stuff. What you can actually do is you can make some notes, and you write these things down, and these I am statements are a big part of the process that I've been going through with Kim Adele in the last over the last year. And it's very interesting how you say these things to yourself. You've got all this self-talk that's going on inside your brain, and a lot of it is very negative. And once you learn to actually conquer that, you can move beyond imposter syndrome, and you can move beyond your confidence issues, which you can have, right? And I find that very, very interesting. So, like I was saying, you may oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I know who that is in my system here. You see, I know that's Lisa Ventura, and you guys are playing a prank on me, but I am quite happily talking away about imposter syndrome. And you both, so Lisa Ventura helped us to launch Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day. And that's now an annual event, which is building traction, and it's part of Mental Health Awareness. I think it's Mental Health Awareness Month, maybe week. But so about this imposter syndrome, right? I really think that once you start becoming more aware of these things that you say to yourself, then you can learn to change them, and you can actually rationalize with your subconscious mind, which I find very interesting. And you can literally just oh, that's nice. Look, I've got all my friends dropping by and saying hello. Look at that. See? Fantastic. That's really nice to see you, Carl. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, Carl's studying, actually. He's just about to enroll in a university course, which I think is fantastic. He's thinking about becoming a psychologist. So what I'm talking about is very very relevant, basically. So yeah, in terms of the Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day, it was very, very interesting, because we did all these panel discussions, and everyone seems to have a very similar way of handling it. Like they present themselves with evidence that the opposite is true. So for example, you could be saying, well, I can't do this live broadcast, I'm useless at what I do, blah blah blah, no one's going to find me interesting, and all this kind of stuff, right? And believe me, streaming live, you pick up it's tough streaming live yourself on your own, yeah, with no one except you talking to the camera, right? Whilst your co-host is getting her hair done, and you're streaming live to all of her channels. So anyway, at the moment, I'm thinking, well, what useful things am I going to say? And all these sorts of things. And do you know what? I actually do have valuable things to say. I have some great stories. And this last week has been a big learning curve. It's been a big learning curve when we're really getting down into the, let me see, how do I put this? Into the self-development, not self-development, into the development of the mind, right? And actually, you can learn pretty much anything right now. I mean, if you've just joined us, I was talking literally just about the 20th anniversary of the MIT Open Courseware. And that happened like last week, like on the 7th, right? So you can pretty much learn anything you want these days, and you can actually overcome all of these bits of baggage, all of these self-beliefs that you have to move forwards in life. And that is fascinating, how all of this information is just waiting for you. It's sitting there for you to take action and actually do something, right? And it's been a difficult week. I'm not going to lie. It's been a very difficult week. The Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day was absolutely exhausting this week, but it was very, very good. And we had a lot of good feedback from that. A lot of people dropping us messages, getting involved with tweeting around the hashtag and that kind of stuff. So that was amazing. And I think this phenomenon, the imposter syndrome phenomenon, which, I've made some notes here that I picked up earlier, it's actually known as imposter phenomenon or fraud syndrome, which is interesting. And it's a concept describing high achieving individuals who are marked by an inability to internalize their accomplishments and a persistent fear of being exposed by a fraud. And it was first discovered by the psychologists Pauline Rose at Plants and Suzanne Ines. And now basically this imposter syndrome phenomenon is being recognized basically to be present in over 70% of people at some point in their lives. That is fascinating. And what's really interesting is the stories that I've heard from people who, have shared the stage at the UN, hosted panels with all sorts of people, and they are genuinely still feeling like imposters. It's just fascinating. And what I also think is that so many people really suffer from this, and actually a lot of those people, they may try and fight with it themselves and to try and break free from it themselves. And I find that fascinating, how you can actually sit there and you can have your subconscious mind, which people call like the inner child and this kind of thing. And they will have that running in the background saying, hey, look, get this guy off the stage. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No one's interested in what he's got to say and all this kind of stuff. And I find that fascinating, how you can actually take control of that script that is running in the background there, and you can actually take control of it, and you can change your life just by becoming, firstly, more aware of what on earth you're saying to yourself. Secondly, actually questioning those thoughts and insecurities. And I find that very, very interesting. And you can literally take a piece of paper like I did and write down your I am statements, write down these statements and say, well, okay, so perhaps I think I'm useless or I'm an idiot today. So I'm writing this down and I'm like, well, what's the evidence that I'm actually an idiot? Yeah. What's the evidence of that? And then I will write some more notes. And then what I do at the end, this is the process that I use. It's not quite imposter syndrome, but it's sort of self-confidence, self-talk that's going on. And I use this process probably not every day, but during my week. And when I find myself with these thoughts of saying, no one's going to want to listen to what you've got to say and all this kind of stuff, I will actually make a note of that. And I'll say, well, really? Is that actually true? Or is the opposite actually true? Is there evidence that the opposite of that is true? And genuinely, I really don't feel like an idiot anymore. I don't actually suffer from imposter syndrome, I don't think. And, Kim is putting me through this painful lesson today, whereby she is in the hairdressers and playing a prank on me because I was 10 minutes late the other day for our call that we did. And I'm only gonna talk for a little bit longer because I don't really have that much to say, to be honest. Except for this week, it's been an exceptionally good week on most counts. Lots of lessons have been learned, and we as a team cannot be responsible for our guests and the things that they say to people, and we also can't be responsible for people in the live chat and what they say to people, because people love to drop by and criticize. Yeah. They love to take things the wrong way. And what's very interesting is I found an image on Facebook earlier, and I'm gonna dig it out, and I'm gonna share with you, if I can find it, what actually, here we go. So what I found very interesting this chap posted this earlier. The 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word, which I thought was great. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. So relevant to imposter syndrome. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So that's number 1. I like that. This is an important one here. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. Right? So true. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. Can't argue with that either. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Needless suffering, right? Number 3, I love this. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. Well, this week I've tried, believe me, I've tried. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Okay? Don't make assumptions. I love that. I love that. It's fantastic. Okay, so number 4, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, of course. Under any circumstance, simply do your best. And yeah, the image is on my Facebook. It's so true, right? Fantastic. I'm so pleased you're watching this. Yeah, it's on my story on Facebook, but I'll share it to my page. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to go over and share that on my Facebook shortly. But you know, what an interesting world we live in. What a great place we actually live in, where we have all this information at our fingertips, right? You can go out and you can start learning about pretty much any subject you want today for free, right? Can you believe that? For free. You can go out and you can study from thousands and thousands of courses for nothing. Yeah. That's what's so amazing, right? It is really amazing. And you know, I've been blown away by this. Like there's a movement called the Mooc Movement, and it has 180 million learners have gone through the Mooc Movement. It's just amazing. And, you know, we live in a world where you can learn pretty much anything that you want. And what can I say, really? No more than that. I think I'm gonna cut it short this week, as Kim is clearly not here just yet. She did warn me she wasn't going to be here, so I thought if I ran out of things to say, I would cut it short. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope that you find what I've just said valuable. And really, I wish you all a great weekend, and whatever it is that you're doing, have fun. And thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day, if you were. Thank you. Bye-bye.